Okay, so now I have finished drying all of my PBO colors, and I have also put the texture glass on top and dried that. My block is really warm, but it has dried the colors and the mediums that I put on here from the bottom up and from the top down. So I stopped when this was just a little bit sticky, and then I gave it a chance to cool off, and now it's completely dry, no stickiness at all. So then, now we're going to go ahead and stamp, and let's pick well, let's see. I was going to pick a different one, but not all of these faces match the words that are here. But let's use this one. And I'm going to put it on the block and use archival ink on it. And let's see, she's looking, okay, I want to make her to where she's looking over to the wide side of the block of my stone, I'm sorry. Okay, and it's a really nice image, and that's going to stay there. It's very clear. Archival ink works really good over top of the texture glass. So let's see, I used Brave, Loyal, and Bold on the last one. Let's put Fierce and Spirited, and let's see, Strong. Let's put Strong. Okay. So we'll put Fierce on first, and I'm just going to put it on this block, line it up with the line that's on there so that I know that it's straight. So I'm going to put that one here, and the next one, let's go with Spirited. Or Fierce, Strong, and Spirited, or Fierce, Spirited, and Strong. Let's do Spirited next. I gotta make sure that I do it right side up, so it's this way. Okay. And I'm gonna set it just a little, just offset it a little bit. And I got a line there that I didn't really want, but we'll see if I might be able to fix that. Okay, so now we need Strong. Put the ink on, and then I'm going to offset a little bit more. Okay, so now we got all our stamping on there, but I'm going to take a Q-tip, if I can grab it, and some alcohol, and let me see if I can remove that line under there. I don't want it to be dripping, but yeah, it's coming off. So just using that alcohol and rubbing it a little bit, and that line is off. Okay. So you can always use alcohol to repair a mistake when you're using archival ink, because it is a solvent-based ink. Okay, so we got Fierce, Spirited, and Strong. We could have the one that says Life Journey, Heart Songs. Ooh, that's kind of cool, Heart Songs. Yeah, let's use that one. Okay. I am in love with these Tim Holtz heart charms. Okay, so I'm going to pull the sticker off of the backing sheet. And I'm going to use my pointed tweezers to place it in the heart. And then we use the epoxy heart that is the cover, and I think I need my tweezers again. Okay, so that's all set. Those are so easy and so cute. Well, I think they can be cute, or they can just be a statement as well. So I'm going to put that right there. And the cool thing about this is that I've figured out that I don't even really have to glue it, because the texture glass is still kind of soft and warm. So if I just push it down in there, it kind of embeds itself, and it's not coming back out. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so now it's time to put our embossing powder and our ice enamels on there. So I'm going to shake these up a little bit, and I'm just going to take and pinch it out and just kind of use it kind of as like a border just around the edges. These are very cool. When you put them on metal, they melt and they look just like enamel jewelry. So what I have to do now is I have to heat this up from the bottom. So that's what I'm doing, and you got to watch your fingers to make sure that you don't burn your fingers. And you just have to get the stone warm enough to where the enamel just sticks on it. And then once the enamel is warm enough to stick onto the surface, then you can turn your heat gun over to the top and then heat it until it begins to melt. Okay, now obviously I cut out all the parts of me drying this, because I know you don't want to just look at me standing here holding or melting this, you don't want to look at me standing here holding the heat gun. This takes about 5 to 10 minutes to accomplish. It sinks down into the texture glass and it melts at the same time. And you will think that this part takes the longest, that it's the ice enamels that take longest, but that's not really what it is. It's the fact of heating the stone up enough for the powder to begin to melt. And now the stone is pretty hot, and I'm just going to barely sprinkle, well, pull that off. I added more than I wanted to, but I just want to barely have like a little spattering of this black, almost none, just a tiny little shadow kind of thing. I don't know, it's an accent, and I don't want very much of the black, but I do want it on there. Okay, and this is the Distress, and so yeah, it's got a rough texture as well. So here again we have one more different texture. And okay, let me pour that off so that it doesn't blow. So the stone is pretty warm, and I'm going to heat the black now. There's one thing I forgot to tell you. When I was heating it for the 30 minutes that it took for all of the PBO medium paint to dry, I found that if I got the heat too close to it, that it would crystallize and kind of burn a little bit and bubble, and I really liked that, so I kept doing it that way on purpose. More texture. Okay, now the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my my Emboss It dabber, and I'm going to just dab pretty much all over. I'm not going to put it on her face, but otherwise I'm dabbing this embossing ink all over. And because it's so warm, this texture glass is kind of soft, so some of it is going to get on her face, but I'm not putting the ink down there that will hold it there. Some of it will stay, but not a lot. So I'm just going to pour this on. This is the Ice Crystal Antiquities embossing powder, and then I'm just going to tap it around. Make sure I get a lot of it on there. Now it's looking cloudy, but this is going to melt and be clear and crystal-like, something like that. Okay. Get it off the heart, and we're going to heat. Okay, and once again I shortened the film part of the drying time so that you didn't have to sit there and watch me hold the heat gun. This has all gone clear, but as I noticed on the other one, that as long as the stone holds the heat, it will continue to crystallize and become even more clear. As you can see the difference between this one that was warm for a while and is now cooled, and this one that I've just finished and is still really warm to the touch. I can hold it, but not for long. So anyway, these are my stone tiles, and I think they make great gifts. I think they're prettier as a little gift on a stand than as a coaster, but it could be used as a coaster. You might want to, like I said, put a good coat of varnish over it. Maybe I would say a spray varnish better than a brush on varnish, because of all the different because of the glittery quality. I think that a wipe on varnish might obliterate some of that sparkle and shine, and where the spray varnish would probably not. So I hope you enjoyed this and my little adventure into texture with the PBO glass paints, some Dina Wakley stamps, some iced enamels, some archival ink, a stone, and Tim's Heart Charms. and distressed powder. Distressed black soot embossing powder and Antiquities frosted crystals. So you should try it. It's really fun. It takes a little while, but it's really fun. See you next week.